Hi, and welcome to Cloud Show Yoga on YouTube. My name is Erin, and I will be your guide for practice today. If you have a set of blocks, you might want to have those and perhaps a cushion or a blanket to sit on. Roll out your mat and let's dive in. So we'll start in a comfortable cross-legged position. Here's where you might want to sit up on something to have your hips a little bit higher than your knees. And right away, let's bring our hands into a Buddhi Mudra. So you'll have your thumb and your pinky meet. And you can place this just gently on your knees. And when you feel settled, you can go ahead and lower the lids of your eyes, dropping into the space. This Buddhi Mudra is helping us to increase the power of perception and intuition. It also balances the water element. I don't know about you, but I find myself some days feeling like the path is clear, the direction is there, I know where I'm headed. And other days I feel like I'm in a little boat on a boppy sea and I have the image of a compass that the needle can't quite find north. And I'm going to share a quote with you that resonates with that sort of feeling. We think our guiding light is out there somewhere because we cannot conceive that it is in here. And so we search in vain until we search within. So I offer the image then of a lighthouse with its bright light shining in the darkness, and having this light represent our own intuition, that guiding light that is there inside of us, if only we can get still and see it and trust it. So, as we move through our practice today, as an intention, I invite you to bring your focus to that bright, shining inner light of your intuition that will always guide you on the right path. We'll take a few rounds of 3-part breath, like the waves of the ocean, to settle in together. When your next inhale begins, draw it deep into your belly, then up into your ribs, then up into your chest, pausing at the top and exhaling chest, ribs, belly. Continue this breath on your own pace, belly, ribs, chest, exhale chest, ribs, belly. A few more rounds, and perhaps like the revolving bright light of a lighthouse, as you fill up to the top, imagining that light as it circles, sweeping by, and you can catch a glimpse of it. And then as you exhale, it continues its revolution and perhaps it's dark for another moment. But then if we continue to look with that next breath, as that wave comes in, the light circles around again, and we can catch its bright gaze showing us our way. When you complete this next exhale, let the breath return to normal. And if you practice Ujjayi Pranayam, I invite you to use that in your practice today, the wave-like breath. Let's bring our palms to heart center. Gently bow the chin down towards the palms pressing the heart up towards the sky. Just taking a moment here to seal in that intention for yourself. And together we'll take one Om. Inhaling to Om. Gently blink open the eyes, and we'll bring the hands to cup the knees and take some circles. These wave like movements of the spine. Maybe you link the movement directly to the breath, inhaling forward and exhaling back, or maybe you move a little faster so it doesn't quite line up with your breath, whatever feels good in your body today. You've done a few circles in one direction, we'll shift to the opposite. Maybe this side you want to move a little slower. You find a spot that feels sticky, pause there. Or maybe this side's calling you to move a little bit faster. The circles will get a little smaller and we'll find ourselves sitting in the center again. I invite you to switch the crossing of your legs gently. And from here, keeping the hands on the knees, let's take some seated cat cow. So you'll inhale the chest forward, chins lifts. And exhale, rounding the spine, chin tucks to chest, cow, cat. I know my animals, I swear. Inhale, chin lifts, cow. Exhale, curving spine, cat. One more round here. Inhale, lift, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's spider walk our left fingers out to the side. Inhale, right arm up and over, taking a side body stretch. Maybe your elbow comes to the mat, maybe not, but definitely intending that opposite hip down, keeping hips square. One more breath for length here. And exhale, returning to center. Second side, right fingertips are out. Inhale, lifting left to the sky. And exhale, come into that side bend. Already noticing, at least for me, one side is different than the other. I'm finding today more opening already on this side. If you're noticing something similar in your own body, don't judge it, don't label it, just notice. One more inhale for length. And exhale, returning to center. We'll take another little wave-like movement using this shape this time, coming up to the side, inhale. Exhale, sweeping around the front to the opposite side, reaching side stretch. Again, through the front and center, inhale. And exhale. Dropping into that ujjayi, connecting with the water element. One more round each side. When you've completed that round, inhale back up to center, and we'll come roll over our shins. If you've had a cushion, set that off to the side, and we'll meet straight away in our downward facing dog. Maybe taking a moment to pedal out through the feet. First down dog of the day, I imagine, for most of us. Maybe gently shake the head to release some tension in the neck. And then find stillness in down dog. Continuing with our waves right away, we'll ripple through the spine, inhaling forward to our plank pose. And exhale right away, bending through the knees, curving through the spine. Exhale to our down dog. Two more of these wave-like movements. Inhale, tail, mid-back, upper back, gaze, come forward. And exhale, reverse. Tail, mid-back, upper back, gaze. Last one, inhale. And exhale. From here, we'll inhale our right leg up, down dog split. And exhale, curling knee in towards nose, stepping through to our low lunge, dropping that back knee. Fingertips or maybe hands on blocks. Inhale, chest up like a cow spine. Exhale, straightening as much as feels good in your body into that front leg, runner stretch. Riding that wave, inhale forward to our cow low lunge. Exhale, take it back. One more round, inhale forward. And exhale back. This time, inhale forward, step forward, left foot to meet right and forward fold. Inhale, arms up overhead, reverse swan dive. And exhale, palms to heart center, Tadasana. Right away, reversing down, inhale, arms up. And exhale, diving forward fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, right foot steps back, lower the back knee, low lunge. Inhale to lift the chest into our cow stretch. And exhale, straightening back any amount. Inhale forward. And exhale back. One more round, inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale forward, low lunge, plant hands this time. Step left foot back to high plank and lower your way. Maybe knees, chest, chin, maybe chaturanga. And then your back bend, maybe baby cobra, maybe upward facing dog. And hips up and back, we meet in our downward facing dog. Taking a breath here. We'll inhale, down dog split, our right leg up. And exhale it back to the mat. Left leg inhales up. And exhale, return it to the mat. Inhale, we'll ripple forward to our plank. Exhale, pause and plank. This time we'll inhale into our side plank, leave the feet staggered, left arm towards the sky. And on the exhale, your back foot comes up and we find an oblique crunch in the front. Inhale back to length in side plank. Exhale back to the center. Second side, inhale, side plank on the left. Exhale, left leg comes in to meet right elbow, oblique crunch. Inhale back up to the plank and exhale in the center. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, down dog split. Exhale, step it through, low lunge. Inhale up, high lunge. And exhale, open hips, open arms, warrior two. We'll reverse right away. Inhale up and back. And exhale, flow low your way. Inhale, your back bend. And exhale, hips up and back. Inhale, left leg up, down dog split. Exhale, curl in knee towards nose and step through low lunge. Inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, open wide, warrior two. Inhale up and back, reverse. And exhale, flow low your way. Inhale up, your back bend. Exhale, we meet in downward facing dog. One more round of this, you know where we're going this time. We'll roll forward into our plank, inhale. And exhale to stabilize. Inhale, rolling open on the right. Exhale, right knee, left elbow. Inhale for length, side plank. Exhale, center. Inhale, second side, right arm lifts. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, lift. And exhale, back to center. Hips up and back, down dog. Inhale, right leg up, down dog split. And exhale, step it through low lunge. Inhale up, high lunge. Open, exhale, warrior two. Inhale, up and back, reverse. Exhale, flow low your way. We'll meet in down dog. Second side, left leg up, down dog split, inhale. Exhale, step it forward, low lunge. Inhale, arms up, high lunge. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, front arm up and back, reverse. And exhale, cartwheel down your way. We'll meet in down dog. Couple of inhales here. Exhaling deep and slow. If you've lost the breath, come back to it. From here, we'll ripple forward again into our plank pose. And exhale onto the the left palm with the right reaching high this time. Let's stack the feet. And if you're okay here and want to lift the foot into our flying side plank, and if from there you would like to bend the top knee, plant the toes, we'll lift the hips up into wild thing. Just for a breath or two. From here, keeping that top arm really reaching forward, see if you can pivot, lift the right leg, and with control, slowly bring it up to step at the front of the mat. From there, we'll inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, open into our warrior two. Inhale up and back, reverse. This time, exhale forwards, pausing in our side angle. Maybe you have your elbow at your knee, maybe fingertips reach down. Top arm can be over the ear, or I'll offer our half bind today. So that left arm will reach around behind the back and tuck in by that front right hip. Whichever variation you choose, breathing deep, using the connection of the arm and the front knee to find more opening. From here, push into the front foot. We'll straighten that leg, finding our triangle pose, maybe keeping the half bind if you have it. If you'd like to heel toe the back foot in for a shorter stance, feel free. Maybe with each wave, like cycle of breath, coming back to that image of the lighthouse beacon. One more inhale for length. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, bending front knee, coming up to warrior two. Just for the inhale and exhale, flow down your way. Inhale your back bend. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Right away, second side, ripple forward like a wave, plank pose. Exhale, stabilize. We roll onto the right palm this time. Side plank, feet stack, left arm high. If you're stable here, option to lift the top leg, bend the knee, tap the toes, lift the hips, wild thing. From here, second chance to try this kind of tricky transition, keeping stable, reaching forward. Can you rotate slowly and step that front foot into low lunge? Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, up and back, reverse. And exhale once again into our side angle. Pausing in the variation that served you best today. And maybe this side is different than the first side. Explore, try on all the different varieties and return to the one that feels best. Maybe that half bind worked on the first side. Find that again here. Keeping a strong connection in the back foot to the mat. One more inhale for length. And exhale, maybe rotating the chest a little more towards the sky. Inhale, pushing into front foot, straighten that front leg, coming into our triangle pose. Maybe arms expand, maybe you stay in the bind. Feeling the connection of the thighs reaching towards each other. One more inhale for length. Exhale to deepen. Inhale, bend front knee, coming up, warrior two, just touching the pose. And exhale, flow down your way. Meeting in downward facing dog, no rush. Just take one more deep cleansing breath. Building on that sequence, let's ripple forward like a wave. We come again to our left palm side plank with the right arm high. Again, we're lifting that leg, perhaps bending the knee. This time, perhaps though, see if you can lift towards your wild thing posture without those toes touching the ground. Maybe they tap and you lift them back up again, or maybe you can stay suspended in space. Good. From here, that same transition, reaching that front arm forward, back leg that was just flying slowly comes through and lands at the front of the mat, low lunge. Inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, open warrior two. Inhale, up and back, reverse. Exhale, this time into our side angle. And if it's available to you, I ask you to try on the full bind, maybe grabbing a strap to help make that connection. If it doesn't work for you, no worries. Be where your body is asking you to be today. And if you have the bind, using the connection, maybe with the hand that isn't holding, so the left hand, finding that booty mudra behind your back. One more inhale here. Exhale for a deeper twist. Inhale, gaze comes down towards the front foot, and we'll exhale to step our left foot up to meet our right, keeping the bind, coming into our bird of paradise. So shifting the weight to your left foot, the right foot gets light, and we can roll up the spine, coming to stand. Maybe you stay here with the knee bent. Maybe you're able to extend it, fly your bird. Maybe the gaze turns to the left. Now on the reverse, begin your descent. But listen, we'll try something different and kind of fun, I think, in the middle. So come down about halfway. And instead of lowering those toes, again, straighten the standing leg and come into this tabletop drinking bird of paradise variation. So straightening standing leg, straightening flying leg. One more breath. And then bend and finish the descent as you normally would. Right foot plants on the mat. Let's try another fun transition. If you still have the bind and would like to keep it, we'll shift our weight into our right foot. Our left toes get light, and trusting the teeter totter, letting your head and body weight come forward. Maybe you can come into the flying bound half moon, or maybe you're finding yourself where I am right now, just barely lifting the toe and putting it back down. If you can work towards straightening that right standing knee, and then seeing how slowly, how gently can you step back into that side angle pose. Inhale to release that bind, arms spread wide, feel the release of the blood. Exhale, flow low your way. Inhale up. And exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let that go. Maybe shaking the head, maybe wiggling the hips, maybe doing circles through the torso. Second side, rolling forward like a wave into our plank. We come onto our right palm this time, side plank. And again, if you want to try on that variation, instead of the wild thing with the toes planting, keep them floating and see if you can still lift heart towards sky. One more breath. And then slowly that transition as the left foot comes to the front of the mat. Low lunge. Inhale up, high lunge. Exhale, open, warrior two. Inhale, up and back, reverse. Exhale, forward into side angle. Taking that full bind if it worked for you on the other side, and maybe with the right hand this time, finding the Buddhi Mudra behind your back. Coming back to the breath. Coming back to that bright white light of your intuition. Using that wisdom to go where your body wants you to go today. One more inhale here. Exhale to deepen. Inhale, gaze down towards front left foot. Exhale, big step, right foot joins it at the front of the mat. Shifting the weight into the right foot. Coming up into our bird, left toes get light, rolling up the spine, coming to stand. Maybe your knee begins to straighten, maybe not. Maybe the gaze moves towards the right. Again, here we'll try this transition, beginning our descent, curling down the spine as you would, pausing halfway, and re-extending perhaps into that tabletop drinking bird, pausing here. Maybe the sides of the mouth turn up into a little smile. And exhale, complete the descent. Weight into that left foot. Maybe you still have the bind. Seeing now on this side, playing with that bound half moon transition. You're welcome to step right back into your low lunge as well. But if you're playing, trusting that you tip the weight forward so the back leg can fly. One more breath playing here. And then how slowly and controlled can you bring yourself back into your bound side angle? Inhale, release that bind. Feel the release. And exhale, flow low. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, looking forward. Exhale, bend knees, jump, hop, walk, fly to the front of your mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, sweet, deep forward fold. Inhale, arms up, reverse swan dive. Exhale, mountain pose, hands at heart center. Let's just take a couple of deep breaths here, connecting back to the heart center, back to our intuition, letting the breath settle. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive down. Now you can choose to keep your feet where they are, or if you like hip width apart, that's awesome too. I'll offer today to cup the back of your heels from behind and reach, curling the forearms towards each other, hugging the calves. Starting with bent knees, as bent as you need. And then with your inhale, begin to straighten the knees and lift the hips towards the sky any amount. Seeing if you can keep the connection of the forehead to the shins. Take a forward fold that serves you today. Making this a release as much as it's opposed with effort. Sing with each inhale. If the hips can't go a little further towards the sky, and with each exhale, you soften a little bit more towards your front shins. On your next inhale, release the cupping if you have it. Put a bend in the knees. We'll slowly ragdoll roll up to stand. Tadasana. We'll turn to face the long edge of the mat and take an interlace of the fingers behind the back. Inhale, fist reach towards the ground, chest arches up. And exhale, hinging at the hips, coming into our wide leg forward fold. The fist can drip overhead towards the front of the mat. Should feel good after the binding that we did. And if it doesn't serve you, release it. Find something that does. We'll release the arms, stay in the fold. You might want to heel toe one of your feet in so you have a slightly smaller stance. We'll take our right arm to the outer left ankle, reach the left arm through the hole, and have it come to find the outer right ankle. If you have both of the ankles or shins or wherever you can hold, use those to twist. Trying though to keep hips square so the twist is just in the back. Getting that nice stretch all the way through our lats. To switch, keep the left hand where it is, release the right, get that through the hole, and find the left ankle. Now we're on the second side. Lefts and rights get tricky when you're upside down. Each inhale for length, each exhale to deepen. And we're gonna play with these two shapes, kind of like a little monkey swinging through the trees. So release your right, reach it through, then release your left and reach it through. Move at a pace that works for you. Maybe it's inhale to release, exhale to catch and deepen. Inhale, release, exhale to deepen. Few more times. It should feel fluid, it should feel good. Good, and we can let that go. Just a moment in the center, ragdoll the arms, maybe sway gently side to side. And then in whichever way you would like, we're just gonna bend the knees and find our bums coming to the mat. All right, from here, we will find our right leg. I'll actually face you, I think. And we're going to cradle our baby. So maybe you'll be here holding the knee and the foot. Maybe you can put that foot into the crook of your arm and hold it like a beautiful baby, rocking gently side to side, keeping a flex and energy through that right foot. Maybe taking some hip circles like we did at the beginning. Whatever serves you to find opening in that hip. Keeping the chest up though, energy lifted rather than curving through the spine. Good, from here, we're going to take that right leg and put on our backpack, AKA our leg, and bring our right fingertips out to the side. We're gonna switch the grip, bringing our left hand to the top of the foot and towards the outside. On your inhale, lean forward a little bit, and then on the exhale, straightening that leg as much as you can, finding our compass pose. Breathing here. You might have guessed from the beginning we were heading here. But can this challenging posture still be a gateway to connecting with that inner guidance and intuition? One more breath. And exhale, gently letting it go. Second side. Switch the legs out. We'll cradle our left leg this time, maybe holding the foot in the knee, maybe finding it in the crook of the elbow. Keeping that chest and tending upward, maybe finding those circles again. Maybe your brain's noticing a difference from one side to the other. Try not to label it. Good, we'll put on the backpack of our leg once again. Left comes up on the shoulder, left fingertips out to the side. Switch the grip of the hand to the top and outside of the foot. Inhale, leaning forward, and exhale, blossom open, looking under the right arm. Maybe bringing your mind's eye to that delicious stretch down by the kidney band. One more inhale. And exhale, gently let it go. For this next round, we're going to play with an arm balance variation, sometimes called flying warrior, sometimes called flying compass. If that is not for you today, you're welcome to practice another round of compass, or maybe it feels good to just rest in a Baddha Konasana and forward fold. If you want to come along for the journey, we'll just come into a tabletop and find ourselves with our right leg forward and our left in the back in our side angle shape. This time, making sure that you've got your hand more in line with the foot. And then we'll find our high heel with our right foot, put on the backpack of our leg from there, and using our left hand, as we do in compass, the outside of the foot, rooting into that front palm. Maybe we can hover. And then if you've got the hover, maybe you can kick that front leg straight and look under the window of your arm. One more breath. And exhale, gently set it down. Get the arm out from under the leg, and we'll just come back to a tabletop. One round to rinse it away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Second side, we'll bring the left foot forward, turning the right back, finding our warrior two legs. Finding your high heel on your left foot, put on the backpack of your leg, and the right hand this time comes to the left foot from the top and to the outside. Push, push, push into that left hand. Maybe you can hover the leg. Maybe you begin to straighten. Flying compass. Inhale. Exhale, soften. Inhale, strength. Exhale, grace. One more inhale. And exhale, gently let it go. We'll meet now if you've been in your forward fold, seated once again. And we'll find, of course, a brief moment in our boat pose. What would a water boat themed class be without one? So finding yourself sitting high on your sit bones, maybe the toes float, maybe the arms float. We've done a lot of core work. We won't be here too long. Maybe it feels nice to take the variation, peace fingers to big toes, straightening and stretching the legs. Maybe it feels nice to find a V shape in the legs. If you took the V, close the legs again. Release the toes, float. 3, 2, 1, and gently lower down to the mat. Anyway, we'll bring the knees in towards the chest and take a little rock and roll. And either coming through Chaturanga with Lolasana or just coming with the knees sneaking under the body, we're going to meet in a prone position, laying on our bellies. So if you want to finish all the way through down dog and then wave your body down to the mat, feel free, move like you. Meeting on our bellies. Palms can be under the forehead. Pausing for a moment to reconnect with the breath. Let's take the arms back behind us. If it feels good to interlace the fingers, I'll offer that option today. Zip up your cobra tail and inhale, lifting arms and chest. Only come into Shalabhasana variation. The opening in the shoulders should feel nice here. If it doesn't, feel free to release the hands. Now let's feel free to release the feet. Let them fly off the mat as well, perhaps coming up a little bit higher. And exhale, release, turning right ear to the mat. Maybe the toes come towards each other, pigeon toe. Maybe you wiggle the hips side to side. Let's turn the other ear to the mat just to even it out. For this next variation, if you have anything immediately to your left or to your right, maybe move it out of the way. If you're like me and you're close to the wall, I'm just going to shimmy towards you a little bit. We're going to bend our knees and come into our bow pose. So grabbing the ankles from the inside or the outside, whatever feels good for you. Inhale, lifting up, first just towards our normal bow shape. And then gently, like a wave, tip yourself over, keeping the grip of the feet onto your right side. This should feel like a really nice stretch all the way through the psoas in the top outer hip. Then gently inhale back to the center, maybe kicking up. And then exhale, gently tip to the left side. Kicking hands into feet, but in a way where it feels gentle. Inhaling back to the belly, back to center, maybe kicking into the feet one time, lifting up nice and high. And exhale, let that go. Find yourself all the way down, hands by your upper ribs, push into the hands. We'll come briefly into a child's pose. And then crossing feet underneath you, we'll just bring the bum through, come to the center of your mat and roll down onto the back. Right away into some rolling bridges. Planting the feet, we'll inhale, rolling up the spine, and exhale, riding that wave back down. If it feels good for you to add the arms with the lower body wave, and the inhale, they'll come up and overhead. Maybe the backs of palms touch the mat. And exhale, lowering, they come back down. One more. This time, leave the arms, push into the feet. Inhale, hips come up. And exhale will stay. So you might interlace the fingers, wiggle the shoulders a little further underneath you. Pushing into feet to lift hips. Chest comes towards chin. Chin reaches gently away from the chest. From here, the invitation is either to stay in bridge or lower to a supported bridge, or we'll transition into wheel pose. So release the arms, place them by the ears, and on an inhale, push into feet and hands. Bowing the chest towards the sky, wheel pose. Whatever variation you're in, let's hold for 5 more breaths together. Making the breaths deep and slow, finding that wave-like quality. One last inhale. And exhale, gently release to the mat. Pausing for a breath, just with the knees still bent and the spine recalibrating. Bring knees in towards chest and find our happy baby. Maybe rocking the boat of your baby side to side. Maybe gently straightening one leg and the other. From here, I'll offer a shoulder stand practice. Feel free to take any inversion that serves you. Maybe it's restorative, legs up the imaginary wall. If you're coming with me, push the hands into the mat, bring the feet up and overhead to touch the mat behind you. Interlace the fingers, wiggle the shoulders underneath you. And then find the hands supporting the low back. When you feel stable here, you can inhale up one leg and then the other. And once you're up in the pose, just ask that you don't turn your head. Maybe today playing with the variation of hooking the big toe where your flip flop would go around one heel and using that to lift yourself a little higher towards the sky. A few breaths on the first side and then switch so the other big toe hooks the Achilles and use that to lift. Here we'll gently begin to bend the knees and lower them behind the head once again to our plow pose. Pausing for a moment here, interlacing fingers again, maybe using the fist to help bring the hips up over the head. Maybe it feels good for you to bend the knees by the ears. And then release the clasp of the hands if you have it. Take a slow roll down the spine. Hips meet the mat, legs continue straight or bent, and we'll lower them all the way to the mat as well. Bringing the hands then gently a little bit under the seat, pushing into the forearms. Use that to lift the chest up off the mat, and then neck, if it feels all right, can tip back, top of head coming to the mat for our fish pose. Keep energetically reaching forward through the toes. If you'd like, you can lift the legs off the mat. If you've lifted, go ahead and lower. Tuck the chin towards the chest, and then release the spine down to the mat. Get the hands out from underneath the bum, and take a deep breath here on our backs. We'll bring our feet onto the mat, crossing the right leg over into our figure four. Reach through the hole, coming to hold on to the back of the left thigh or maybe the left shin. Bringing the shape in towards us, beginning to soften. Maybe here in a bit more stillness, connecting back to the idea of the circling white lighthouse light with each breath. And not seeing that light shining from outside, but see it shining from within. Let's keep the shape as it is, release the hands, plant the left foot back on the ground and tip the shape until the right foot meets the mat. Might feel nice to hold on to that right foot with the left hand and then use the hand and the foot to create a little self-resistance and the knee reaching towards the front of your mat. The gaze might turn towards the right. Energetically intending your right hip towards the mat. What can you let go of? If you're creating a normal spinal twist, go ahead and take that now for a few breaths. When your next inhale comes, we'll release the shape and return the feet and the hips to center on the mat. Left foot comes up this time, figure four shape, reaching through, keeping energy through a flexed left foot, but maybe letting the right relax. Using some strength in the arms to pull the legs in, yes, but what can you soften? Can you find that light again on this side? Maybe one more inhale, squeezing the leg in a little closer to the chest. And exhale to deepen and soften. Releasing the hands, letting the right foot come to the mat, tipping the shape to the right, finding the right hand meeting the ankle, cactusing the left arm, letting the gaze gently fall to the left this time. Energetically reaching that top left knee towards the front of the mat, simultaneously letting the left hip soften down. Can you release any tension in that right shoulder? Maybe the facial features and the jaw. And if you would like a more traditional spinal twist, feel free to move into that now. One more inhale. And exhale to soften. Inhale, we'll release the shape, both feet to the mat one last time. Bring the knees in towards the chest, maybe crossing the arms over the shins, coming into a small little ball, hugging yourself tight. And then with your exhale, letting that go, Shavasana. As we settle in, I'll invite back a few rounds of that three-part breath, moving at your own pace. And again, maybe connecting it to the revolving white light of your inner lighthouse. Gently belly, ribs, chest, chest, ribs, belly. When it feels right for you to let that breath go, release it and let your breath move naturally. Let go and trust that I'm here to bring you out when it's time. Begin to gently deepen the breath. As you begin to find subtle movements of the fingers and the toes, to share this quote from Rumi: "Into my heart's night, along a narrow way I groped, and lo, the light, an infinite land of day." Holding close that light within, make your movements a little bigger. Maybe arms up overhead for a good morning stretch. When you feel ready, rolling onto one side or the other, and pausing in the fetal pose. When it feels right for you, coming up with either eyes closed or a gentle gaze to find once again your comfortable seat. Inviting back our Buddha Mudra, and if the eyes opened, maybe lowering the gaze once again. I'll offer for a brief meditation the mantra Wayanti, which is said to help with awakening the intuition. So as we settle into our seat, maybe you inhale Wa and exhale Yanti, or maybe it's both on the way in and on the way out. Inhaling Wayanti, exhaling Wayanti. Breathing in your own time. Releasing the mantra, letting it float away. Bringing the palms to heart center. Visualizing between the palms, perhaps that white light, the guiding light of your intuition. We'll seal our practice with one Om, inhaling to Om. The teacher in me bows to the teacher in you. Thank you for your practice. Namaste. Namaste, yogis. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Again, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and please leave any comments, suggestions for future classes in the box below. Namaste.